Hi everybody, just wanted to do a quick video today about what I consider to be the best specialist weapons and class setups in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 multiplayer, specifically Team Deathmatch, which I'm a big fan of. So start off with the specialists. Now, I think for beginner to medium players, probably the best specialists to go with are Torque and Recon. Torque is really good on certain maps where you can create little strong points, or almost like sniper's nests. So I'm thinking slums, there's a couple of nice little rooms there. I'm thinking seaside at the top of the clock tower, the church tower. Where else is there? Firing range has got a nice few areas where you can put your razor wire down, and if you wait to get your barricade as well, so you get your barricade and razor wire, you can block off the entrances basically to a little strong point, which you can then hold down and then get plenty of kills in support of that. The razor wire is also super useful just for denying an area to an enemy quickly. So for example, if someone's chasing you, you can drop it down, especially if it's around a corner. They won't see it, they'll run into it, they'll take a load of damage, you can turn around and kill them. At the bottom of drops, the barricade as well, you don't necessarily have to use it to block a door or a corridor. If you put it round a corner so it's at like right angles, people will rush through into the microwave field and take loads of damage, and you'll be surprised at how many kills you do get from the barricade and for the razor wire if you put them where people don't expect them to be. Now in other maps, for example Morocco, Militia, some of the more open maps, then I prefer to play as Recon because he has his sensor dart and his vision pulse. Now the sensor dart is just great, you know, it helps your team. You can go to a choke point or the middle of the map, fire it somewhere not obvious, so into a ceiling or high in a building, and it'll warn all your teammates when people are coming through. If you're in a firefight with somebody, and you're kind of dodging, you're ducking and diving, fire the sensor dart close so that you can see exactly where they are, so you can pre-fire, come around the corner and kill them that way. And then Recon has his, what I consider to be his clutch ability, which is the vision pulse. So especially if the game's close, near the end, fire your vision pulse. Now it's very important when you fire the vision pulse that you stay alive, so do it from somewhere safe, and then you can just vision pulse all the enemies. Your teammates on your squad will see them, and they can engage, they can take them out, and that can often make the difference between winning or losing. Now I think what's important about these two specialists, Recon and Torque, is that their abilities are kind of a little bit passive. You don't need lots of skill like you do with, say, Seraph with her pistol, or Prophet with his Tempest, or even Battery with her grenade launcher. So I would say for beginner to medium, use Recon, use Torque, get to know them, get to know their strengths, and you have a lot of fun. Right, let's have a look at weapons next. Again, this is multiplayer, this is really about Team Deathmatch, and we're going to give you, I think we'll look at the 4 weapons I use most. We're going to have an SMG, we're going to have a assault rifle, LMG, and a DMR. So, SMGs. My favourite one is the Cordite. Now, I really enjoy the Cordite because it has a really big mag. It has 60 bullets in the magazine, which is really good because I'm not a very accurate player, so you can keep firing. I use the reflex optic on it. I use the grip as well just to steady it down, and FMJ, you'll see a common aspect across all my weapon classes tends to be FMJ. And what Full Metal Jacket gives you is the ability to shoot through cover. Now it works, it's not as effective with guns like SMGs, but with your assault rifles, your snipers, your DMRs and your LMGs, it can make a difference. So if you're in a firefight with somebody and they duck behind a box or behind a wall, if you've got FMJ, that may well take them out, because that bullet will go through that cover. Also, if they're wearing armor, FMG will help to go through their armor and destroy it, so you can compete there. Now the Cordite isn't available till quite late. You unlock it quite far into the game. Up until that point though, the MX9 is very similar, and I'm pretty sure that has FMJ on it as well, and the MX9 is the first submachine gun you get. But I would personally, you know, level to the other ones up, but then get the Cordite.
Hostile nomad expired. Nomad kill. He's dead. Recon, gone.
Right. Now, for my assault rifle, it's got to be the ICR-7. Now, I know the assault rifles have had a nerf recently, but it's very stable, it's very accurate. It's a real working machine. Again, I use the reflex, quick draw, and guess what? FMJ. Now let's talk about my secondary. Again, it's common across all my classes, the Hellion Salvo rocket launcher. The beauty with the Hellion Salvo is that it has a lock-on for taking out UAVs and sea UAVs and anything, helicopters, all that sort of stuff, but you can also free fire it as well, just like an RPG. And I would say for your added bit to put onto it, I would put on the high explosive attachment. Now, with the high explosive attachment, the splash damage from the rocket is much more. So that means you can use the salvo, the Hellion. Say someone's in like a little stronghold or a little like sniper's nest, like a room, say quite far away from you, and they've ducked behind cover so you can't see them to shoot them. If you fire the rocket into that room and it explodes near them, it will do them damage. Now you might have to fire a couple of rockets into it, but it will hurt them and it may well kill them. Also, when you're using guns like sniper rifles and DMRs, which aren't that good up close, if someone's chasing you, you can get out your Hellion and you can just fire it either directly at them, or better, you fire it at their feet, and that will explode. Now it might well take you out as well, but it will do them damage and it will kill them as well, so very good. Now the other big reason to run, I think, a launcher, especially in team deathmatch, is that you may well say, well, wait a minute, my perks mean that I'm not that affected by UAVs or CUAVs, or enemy score streaks and stuff like that. Well, you might not be able to, but your teammates are, and to do well in team deathmatch, I think you've got to enable your squad to have a good shape. So what that means is you want to be, you want your squad basically at one side of the map pushing in while the enemies are coming from the other side, so you know which direction they're coming from. And the thing that can disrupt that the most is enemy UAVs and enemy CUAVs and things like snipers' nests and attack helicopters, those sorts of things. If they come in, you can be in a winning situation, and then one of the enemy team gets a sniper's nest helicopter where they fire down at you, or the attack chopper, and all hell breaks loose. Your guys are getting killed from all over the place. You start getting spawn camped, and you can then go into a losing situation. But if you've got a Hellion Salvo, you can take out that helicopter, you can take out that attack chopper, and bring order back to the battlefield, to get that shape back that enables you to do well. Because in team deathmatch, if it all breaks down into an almost free-for-all situation, that can be very difficult to deal with, and it means that the kids with the twitch responses do best. But for me, where I like to play a little bit more strategically, a little bit more campy if you like, having that shape is very important, and having the ability to take out UAVs and attack helicopters and that sort of thing makes a big difference. Okay, moving on, an LMG, the Titan. This thing is a beast. Slower firing than the assault rifles, but does loads of damage and has a magazine that goes on and on forever. We've got 75 bullets in that magazine. So just stick a reflex on it. Again, FMJ, so if they duck behind cover, you can take them out, and a quick draw so that you can compete a little bit with people when they pop out from round cover. Hellion Salvo, of course.
Dead. Hostile eliminated.
Release.
He's dead. Enemy down.
Our TAC deployed beacon has been destroyed. requesting CUAV on station.
And then finally, the DMRs and the sniper rifles, they do have their place in multiplayer, in team deathmatch, but because they're slow firing, their damage per second, if you like, is very low if you miss. That might seem a little, obvious, but if you're running, say, the ICR-7 or the COD and you're firing off like 30 bullets, you can miss 15 of them, or you can miss 20 of them, but you'll still kill your target. But if you miss with a DMR or you're running a sniper rifle, that first bullet, all of a sudden that other person is at a massive advantage. So I tend to avoid the snipers. The DMRs, though, I do have a go with, the Auger especially. But what you do is you take the Auger and you level it up until you can get a reflex on it. So you're basically using it just with a red dot, and it's very good for increasing your finger firing speed, because the Auger DMR is a single fire rifle, does loads of damage, and you can see we've got FMJ on it. At the moment I've got lung barrel, to give it a bit more range. I might put FMJ2 on it, I think. I don't use them that often, but it's very effective, but you just need to keep your distance. And this goes for all of the gun types, actually. When you're using it, think about where that gun performs the best. So when you're using your SMG, you want to be running and gunning, you want to be getting close, you want to be taking all those windy flanking routes, that avoiding the long lines of sight. When you're running your assault rifle or your ICR-7, you can challenge at longer distances, so you can sort of go toe to toe to a certain extent with people with DMRs, LMGs and assault rifles, and you can kind of compete with the SMGs to a certain point as well, but you want to be in that medium distance, where with your LMG and your DMRs you can be competing at medium to longer distances, and that's where they do very, very well. As you can see, we've still got the Hellion salvo as well.
Hostile TAC deploy beacon active.
Set of kill.
C command ready to roll.
Kill.
Taking control.
Kill.
UAV standing by.
And stay down.
Now, the gear that I run, I think the acoustic sensor this is the bee's knees. Now, I know lots of people run stim shot because you can heal, but the acoustic sensor, for someone like me who plays a little bit more tactically, a little bit more campier, you can hear where people are coming, because not only do you get a marker on the minimap that shows you which direction people are running from, but people's footsteps and sounds are louder anyway. And it enables you to really understand, as you get to know the maps, where people are going to go from, because you'll see, okay, there's someone over like to the northeast, that must mean they're going to come around this corner, which means you can stop, you can wait for them, you can kill them, and then you can move on. And I think it's very, very good indeed. So I'd say go with the acoustic sensor. Now, perks. I run Tactical Mask at the moment, but I kind of swap between Tactical Mask and Flak Jacket. Tactical Mask really gives you lots of protection from things like 9 bangs, CUAVs, razor wire, the reactor core, that sort of stuff, where the Flak Jacket is all about explosives. So if you've got lots of batteries lobbing grenades around, Flak Jacket's better. But generally, Tactical Mask protects you from more things. But I would say give it a go. See what suits your playstyle better, either Flak Jacket or Tac Mask. I'm leaning towards Tactical Mask at the moment. Then I go Cold-Blooded, because this again enables me to avoid the targeting from score streaks. It means that if enemy attack helicopters or snipers' nests or the like come over, I can use that extra time that Cold-Blooded gives me to destroy them with my Helion rocket launchers. And Ghost, again, if there's a UAV up, in the time it takes for me to shoot it down, or maybe I've run out of rockets, Ghost is going to protect me, and then I can do that, and then that will enable me to help the team by taking out that UAV. So there we go. There's my kind of guide to specialist weapons and class setups. Go with either Torque or or recon, and then for your SMG, go for the Cordite, go for the ICR-7 as your assault rifle, go with the Titan as your LMG, go with the Auger as a DMR, but yeah, you probably won't use it that much. Your gear probably wants to be the acoustic sensor, and go TAC mask, cold-blooded, and ghost as your perks. Right, so hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully it'll give you an idea of where to start, and put your questions and comments down below. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. If you like the video, hit like, and I will see you again soon.